Hello everyone, this is Antonia Hagens from MasterpieceLife.com behind the camera. And in front of the camera you have my good friend Franco DeNicola. And we're inviting you into a conversation we're having today. We were talking about, what is true freedom? And a lot of people, when you ask them what is true freedom, they say, well, you know what? It's being able to do what I want, when I want, and how I want. And that really in and of itself already predisposes that you have to have all the money available to make that happen. So then the question is, well, then is that really true freedom? So here's our conversation with Franco about Franco. From your awareness, from the awareness that you have, that you bring with who you are, what is true freedom, really?
The way to achieve the true freedom is to be completely outside of all needs, expectations, conditions, and so forth. In a sense, true freedom is to go back to your natural state of the actual creator. Now, we are all creators, and we are creating. But we are also creating on ideas, concepts, and belief systems of what life is about and how to play the game. And that's where it throws us into one perpetual chase after another. So yes, wanting to do what we want, when we want it, how we want it, and so forth, and having the money or abundance, whatever you want to call it, and everything in your disposition to do so is a concept or belief system of how it's achieved. But even at that point, are we truly free? Because I've dealt with people and I've worked with people that have exactly that. I have all the money in the world. I have everything that I want in my life. But I can't even find peace in my life. But at the same time, even though I have that freedom, I find less and less interest in whatever I'm doing, and I can't satisfy whatever I need to do or I feel like doing anymore. And even the idea of what we want or perceive as freedom, is it really bringing you that freedom that you want? Freedom, true freedom, is to be outside of all of it, completely. There is nothing now that you're attached to or have any expectation to. It's getting back to, like I said earlier, into that creator essence, where I'm saying, okay, this is the game of life that we've created, and we're playing with it. It's not about learning how to play the game better. And yes, if I have this in place, now I can play within the game, which is great. I mean, that's a beautiful experience, and we've done a great job at it. But again, we're now playing the game. And the game has rules that we've created collectively and how it's played and what needs to come next. So yes, the idea of, do I have the ideal home, the ideal automobile, the ideal relationship, do I have this in place? And yes, now I have abundant health and I can go out and travel and so forth. Just look at yourself. Say, okay, well, I have freedom to travel. When you're doing so, how much of it are you in the moment of that experience? Or are we projecting, when we're again about to go on to travel, are we actually going, I'm just going to show up there and play with whatever presents and see whatever it is going to be the experience? Or are we going there, I expect to do this, and this, and then if I don't get this far, I'm going to want to do this, and I have so much time and so much whatever you choose. And when we're there, we have expectations along the way. It needs to be this way. And say something diverts us. Bad weather, or whatever the situation, all of a sudden we're already changed our whole experience. And that what we felt is freedom, or the fact that something else comes in the way, starts to change right away. Getting to that point of freedom is not having what we want and keep chasing all this stuff all the time. It's getting to the point where really nothing matters, but we're also so wide open to experience what we want to experience, but we're not also in the game. Yeah, there are certain things that we play because collectively but it doesn't mean anything. We don't have an identification or an attachment to it anymore. It doesn't have any power over it. When you're at that state, you're already freer. But how about going the next step? And that is when you don't have the stories. So no matter what you're doing, it's great. I'm going to go to the park. But while we're walking in the park, where's our mind? Are we actually observing what we're seeing? And see the beauty of all of it? Can we actually take a walk downtown of some city, especially in areas where, are very colorful? And can we just walk there and just see things as nature? It's like you see a building, and without judging, not judging the people, not judging anything of that nature, or even judging yourself. Freedom is to be completely out of judgment. And you're now in complete observation, so you observe. Everything's a beautiful dance. Everything is it's just there to enjoy and appreciate. Like I was saying back to it before, you can walk through it. Many times, we would go through a walk with someone and I say, do you remember what you saw in the last 50 feet? No idea. Why? Is it because they were looking forward? No. They were walking and their mind was perpetually creating one story after another. And getting into that state of true freedom, now you're outside the stories, outside of all perceptions, outside of all judgment, and now you're actually completely enjoying whatever you're seeing, and each moment free to choose what you want to experience. Without attachments, without the story, if I do this, it means this. Or if I don't do it properly, that it's going to be a reflection on me, or this and this and this. These are the stories that takes us one area or another. Which is a beautiful ride. I mean, it's a nice little ride. But the thing is, we get to a point where, we've done this for so long, let's create a whole different reality. So it's getting into that state of peace, true freedom, where we're actually back to creator essence that we are. We created this, we're playing with it. We don't judge it, what it looks like or anything of that nature. And yes, it is one form, and if we choose to make a different form, which is more harmonious, then we allow it to change in that way. But as long as we have judgment, we don't have the power to change anything. Because then we're seeing it, something is wrong, it needs to be fixed, and we create stories on top of stories on top of stories for that. And through judgment, you're now creating that I am not any longer free to create what I want to create. Because look at what I have around me. It's not good. So it's not good that I'm not capable of creating, and why am I in this mess or in this situation or whatever we judged as being something. So freedom really takes a different perspective altogether.